Good evening. Today I feel horrendous. I had a blood test and they took about 5 vials of blood from me this morning. I feel like I've got nothing left and I'm fatigued as hell. So let's talk about fatigue at Christmas. As I said, big blood test, loads of blood gone. I'm not sure they really left me with much, to be honest, because I live with chronic low blood pressure and POTS and vasovagal syncope, so it was a lot, and it was a fasting blood glucose as well, so yeah, I do not feel like I have much life in me today. So I want to talk about fatigue at Christmas and how I manage it and how I manage other people's expectations of me. At Christmas, I find that there is a lot more pressure to perform and to participate in activities and discussion and doing as much and seeing as many people as possible. And I think especially this year, because I'm going home for the first time since 2019 to see family that I've not seen since then, there's going to be a lot of pressure on me specifically to go and visit people and hang out with people and do as much as possible. And I live with chronic fatigue. I do not have a diagnosis of ME or chronic fatigue syndrome, but I do experience fatigue on a near daily basis, and today is one of the worst days I've had in a while. And I feel like by the end of Logtide and after a long train journey home, I'm probably not going to feel that much better than I do today. And because it's so close to Christmas, I will be expected to help with food prep, decorate the tree a little bit, hang out and do things, see all of my family. It's going to be a lot, and I have to manage my expectations and theirs as well. If you are already in the chronic illness community, you will probably already know of the spoon theory. If you don't, I'll put a video up here which explains what it is, but basically spoons is energy, and I'm running low on my spoons for the year. Around Christmas especially, I have to be very careful with my spoons, because if I do too much, I find I run out of spoons, and then I feel disappointed in myself for not being able to participate, and also disappointed that I didn't manage myself better. I think the biggest thing, especially with the spoon theory, is just pace yourself. Now this is a thing that we talk about throughout the year. Doesn't matter if there's an event coming up, if you are a spoonie, you will be told to pace yourself. Only you know your own limits, and it's up to you to manage those. There will be pressure from everyone around you, unless you are having a nice little bubble of chronically ill Christmas, which I think is heaven. I'm not having that, and lots of us aren't. But there will be pressure to get involved, and oh, you'll be fine, just sleep it off later. And it doesn't work like that. You will have to pace yourself. So the first thing in pacing yourself is making sure that you get enough sleep. Now, fatigue is not just feeling tired. Fatigue cannot be cured by just sleeping it off. It doesn't matter how much sleep you have. If you have fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME, cannot be fixed by sleep, cannot be fixed by simple vitamin supplements. But getting enough sleep, or just not being sleep deprived, will help you not make your fatigue worse, if that makes sense. So you might not be above baseline from having a good night's sleep, but you won't be below it from being sleep deprived. So when I'm sleep deprived, my fatigue is so much worse, and I have so many less spoons than if I just have a proper night's sleep. So try and make sure that you sleep as much as you can, or sleep within your normal routine that you have for yourself. I have an appalling sleep routine, I probably need to fix that. But if you have one for yourself, if you're in bed by 10 every night and you wake up at 6 AM and that works for you, stick to that. Try not to be pressured into staying awake past then, or waking up earlier than you normally do, because it will not end well. The next thing I do to manage my fatigue is I make sure that I take all of my medication properly and as I'm supposed to. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about medication in a future video. I don't know when, I'm waiting for my pharmacy. But taking your medication can help you manage your other symptoms, so that the only thing that you are actively having to juggle is fatigue. So for example, with my cold urticaria, I managed that simply by a single antihistamine once a day, and then if I'm getting triggered by something during the day and it's causing another allergic reaction, then I will take as needed. When I'm having an allergic reaction, it doubles my fatigue, it causes me pain, it makes me dizzy, it gives me a headache. All of these things contribute to worsening fatigue. I also live with chronic pain, so if I'm having a really high pain day, I will be very, very fatigued. So me taking my medication properly really helps with that, and with POTS as well. Managing your other conditions goes beyond just medication. It can be resting, not doing activities that you know trigger you, avoiding trigger foods, avoiding triggering drinks. If you are caffeine sensitive, don't start drinking a load of caffeine to try and combat your Christmas fatigue, because it will not work. It will probably just upset you more or upset different conditions, and you'll be peeing non-stop. In terms of practical management that is Christmas specific, I do have a few. They're not Christmas specific, but they are helpful nonetheless. In terms of food prep, because I know food prep can be one of the more challenging parts of the day, it is for me. It's why I don't cook a lot, because the food prep and the cooking alone takes too many spoons and then I'm too tired to eat. If this is you, here are some tips. Trying to use frozen, pre-prepared food as often as you can. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Chilled pre-prepared foods or pre-cut things in like the little plastic things. This has been a huge point of contention for the disability community, because zero wasters really like to go hard on us for that one. If you want to know more about disability and the zero waste movement, I will put a link up here to that one as well. That's pretty cool. But having pre-cut and pre-chopped vegetables can really help you have a well-managed Christmas day, or Christmas lunch, or Christmas dinner, whenever it is. Food. If there are veggies in your meal that you cannot find pre-prepared, sit down to meal prep. I know a lot of kitchen counters are standing height, so you are supposed to stand to cut things on them. Sit down, take it to the dining table. There is absolutely nothing that says that you have to cut all of your food on the kitchen counter. You can just do it at the dining table. You could do it on your lap on the sofa, though please be mindful of safety if you're going to do that. Other life hacks like sitting down to shower, which is something that I do every time I have a shower, because it helps me to use one spoon and not 5. More on that up here. Taking a shower chair wherever you're going is always helpful, or ordering one to be shipped there, or just having one in their house, or even just sitting on the floor of the bathtub also works very well. Things like electric can openers so you don't injure yourself, so my fingers are particularly prone to dislocations. Can openers are the devil to me, so using electric can openers can be very, very helpful. Asking for help, having someone else open the cans for you, also very helpful. Learning how to say no is a very good life hack, because it just helps you to keep on top of your own spoons. You don't have to say yes to everything. Learning how to have fun in the background, or learning how to have fun by watching people, is top tier fatigue advice, to be honest. I very much enjoy watching other people have fun. I do feel included. I am terrible at backseat driving video games when I'm too tired to play myself. My bad. But watching other people play board games is so much fun to me, because I don't always have the mental energy to get involved with these board games, particularly Monopoly. Don't get me started on Monopoly. But watching other people do it is so much fun, and sometimes you get asked questions about, oh, should I sell them this house? It's always lots of fun. Short form games as well, so if someone says, hey, do you want to play Monopoly? And you're like, no, but I do want to play something. How about we play something quicker? I cannot think of a quicker board game. Or something that takes less thinking, less spoons, so something like Snakes and Ladders. That is just roll the dice and go. Something like that. Suggesting alternatives is also a really good way to manage your fatigue, because you are still involved, if not more involved, because it's your idea, and it's something that you can actually do and you can pace yourself with. So if somebody wants to so if somebody does want to play a board game like Monopoly and you don't have the spoons for it, or you don't have the spoons for a game, You could also suggest, hey, let's watch a Christmas film, and that way you get to sit, eat some snacks, maybe replenish a spoon if just sitting can do that for you, and then you're all together doing the same thing, and then you might be able to play the board game later. And on that train of thought, you can also just suggest that you do the high spoon things later. So I'm going to use Monopoly again because it is a particularly draining board game for me for some reason. But if somebody wants to play Monopoly before dinner and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning and you know that's going to wipe you out for the day, how about we play it after dinner? How about we play it tonight when there's more or less people in the house to do it with? Oh, I don't know, Monopoly's quite a long game and dinner might be ready by then. How about we play it after dinner? Sometimes suggesting alternatives is a better alternative to saying no. And the last thing to do for chronic fatigue is to not beat yourself up. Having fatigue is not your fault. Even if you do everything wrong in a day and you have no spoons and feel crap, that's still not your fault. You have no control over the levels of fatigue that you feel in your body. You can do things to mitigate it, but at the end of the day, bodies are weird and they have minds of their own, I swear. You can do everything right and still feel that exact level of fatigue, so don't punish yourself and don't beat yourself up for having fun with the spoons you have and then paying for it later. That's okay and that's not your fault, and you definitely don't need to be beating yourself up about it. You could completely ignore everything I've said in this video and do everything that you know is wrong for you, and it's still not your fault. Don't beat yourself up. We as a society have built up this pressure for Christmas to be the big one. And especially now with COVID restrictions and people wondering, oh, are we going to have a Christmas? And even our own politicians having a house party in the Prime Minister's house when the rest of the country doesn't get to do that, because Christmas has been built up to be the most important thing of the year. And right now especially, it does kind of feel like that. And that is okay, but it shouldn't come with so much pressure to be in peak spoon having levels. Clearly I'm tired for the word choice. So I hope this video has provided some solidarity and maybe even been helpful to those of you with fatigue, or those of you who love somebody with fatigue. Will I be following my own advice? Probably not. It's just how it goes. So don't forget to like this video, drop a comment down below if you have any tips for managing fatigue over the festive period. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time with at least one bonus video every single month, apart from this month, which is Vlogtide, and you're getting 21 videos in 21 days in the lead up to Yule. See ya!